Hello there, welcome back. If you don't follow my channel, you won't know I've been gone for some time, but I'm back for the time being. So I've kept pumping things out on my channel, so you've still had content to watch. And I am asking for my birthday video I put up, my fun birthday video, as it was my 60th birthday. I'm asking if you guys could please share it out, because I would love to have 60 thumbs up on my 60th birthday video. So if you could do that for me, that would be a really good way to celebrate my start of my 60th year. So that would be really good. So if you could do that, I would appreciate that very much. And I also want to say thank you so much. I saw on one of my shorts that I had been given a donation. It's quite an old short, but I know why someone's just seen it. It's talking about another channel. You've got to find it if you want to see it. And they thought it was so hilarious taking the Mickey out of another channel for all their grifting. They loved it, so they gave me a donation. So thank you so much for that. That was really a lovely surprise to come up with when I found it today. I was like, wow, that's really good. And do you know what? That donation tipped the scales for me. Today was the day when in my country it's the final time of there's a set date in each country. Most countries it's around anywhere between the 14th and I think the 26th of each month is when they round up how much you've earned from YouTube and if you get a payout or not. And that tipped me over. I have to have in Cyprus 70 euros, above 70 euros to get a payout for that month. And it was tight. It was so tight. And that donation tipped it over. And I've now got 71 euros. I think it was 53 cents. So just because of that donation. So really double thumbs up for that. That tipped me over. So I actually finally got a payout this month. So thank you for that. You don't know how wonderful that was, that you got me a payment finally, for all the effort I've been putting into keeping my channel going when YouTube is trying its hardest to close down my monetization, which is why they give me a copyright strike. I'm on 109 copyright strikes of music for the same piece of music, and I am making a video on it. I started doing a little piece today to show you how I deal with the same strike for the same bit of music from the same person when I can use it. And now I've done 119 times saying I can use it, and then the next few days, yes, you can use it, and then the next day I get another 10 or so strikes. And bear in mind, I've used that music. I've got over 700 videos now. That's not including shorts. And nearly all of those I've used this bit of music in, and YouTube says I have to do a disclaimer every single time because they're all different videos. So I've got over 700 times to do this, and I'm on 119 at the moment because they do a few a day. So you can imagine how that wears one down. If I choose not to do it, any of those videos I don't do the disclaimer on, I will be removed. Monetization rights when anyone watches them. So you can see I've just come back from respite and I have to deal with even more of this nonsense. So I started to make a video on it. As I was doing it today, I thought, right, let's film me doing it so you can see how it looks, how it comes up. My Gmail is just full of them, absolutely full of them. So that was a nice present. I must admit, while I was away, I couldn't recuperate because I knew I was going to come back to more of this nonsense. So there we go. That's life for you. Hey, in the house, we have Stitching It Up. We have Stitching Up, Capturing Country Life, says, hey, Dawn. Stitching It Up, Capturing Country Life, donation for what? She donated to, it was a short where I was doing a fun, what do you call it? Like a fun takeoff of another charity that a lot of people, another channel that a lot of people really get annoyed with because they are grifters and they have millions. They have many properties and they go on holidays. They're actually on holiday more than they're at home, and they say they need money to do repairs on their property. So I took the mickey out of that by showing one of the abandoned properties here, and I put a little funny thing up kind of relating to that channel. So yeah, so that was funny. And Steve and Tina Jules here. Morning, Dawn. Morning to you. How are you doing with your legs, Steve? I hope you're getting along. I did watch one of your videos briefly today. So let's remind you all, guys, to go and check out the channels as I read out their channel names. And as I always say, if you like what you see there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button while you are there. So go and take a look at their channels. So there we go. Stitching It Up says hello to the Canadian friends. That's Steve and Tina Jewel. And Steve said, had a lay-in today. Yeah, you're a bit like Mike. He's detesting having to rest and not able to do anything because he can't bend over or do things like that. And I said, well, some people love to be in that position. I know you're active like he is, but take it while you can get it. That's what I say. Take it while you can get it. What shall we talk about today? Let me see. Let's talk about this. While I was away, they had some fancy teas. Or I am doing editing where we went and what we did there and so on and so forth. So you will see that in videos. I've edited the first one, which what we did on the way, and the journey, because it's very picturesque where we went, and I show where we stayed, but there will be far more videos. And they had fancy teas. Now, I don't drink tea. You all know I don't drink tea, but since I've had lupus, I have to drink, I think it's ginger and green tea, ginger with green tea. And I don't drink tea. I would love to try some of these fruit trees. They smell lovely, but when I've tasted them in the past, I really don't like them at all. So I have to drink ginger with green tea. It's one thing, ginger and green tea. So they had this one while I was away, and I was fine on my birthday, but that night, early morning, the next day, I was extremely ill. So I wanted to try this tea, but obviously I didn't then want to try it. So I bought a couple home to try. And this is, I've never heard of it. I'm guessing you pronounce it rooibos. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. So I brought it home to try. It doesn't say anything about it because I want to get into some, but I don't want to buy them and then not like them. It's waste of money. And I looked it up, and it's a South African herb. And I tried it. It was all right. I'm very partial to actually trying things, and it was all right. And I had two. So I had one the other day that I tried, and I've got another one here. And it's supposed to induce sleep as well. So I had it quite a bit before I went to bed yesterday, and I felt nice and relaxed. But then by the time I went to bed, I was awake. My mind was going, I must do this tomorrow. I must do this tomorrow. So I didn't sleep very well. But I've got another one. I might try that before I go to bed this time. Maybe it wore off, I don't know. So have any of you heard of that? If you're tea drinkers and you drink all these fancy herb teas and that, maybe it's something you know of, but I've never even heard that. Steve said we had a night out Saturday, went to an Airbnb. Lovely. Lovely. You went out to celebrate my birthday on Friday. Where did you go? You want to fill us in on that? Stitching It Up says, I don't fancy teas either. Don't like hot tea. Ginger is good for tummy ache. That's why I have to have ginger, because of lupus. I have crystallized ginger as well. And funny enough, I didn't have, and I have like ginger paste. Everything I eat, I put ginger paste on it, and I mean a great big dollop of it. I didn't like ginger when I first had to have it, but I've got used to it and I actually quite like it. So whatever I'm having, I paste that on. And funny enough, I didn't have any on that Friday. So I have the ginger and green tea in the morning. I'll have another one at lunchtime. As I say, then whatever I eat, we eat our meal dinner time. I can't eat after lunchtime because I can't digest. My kidneys aren't working properly. So I eat lunchtime. So whatever I eat, I'll put a big dollop of this paste on it, ginger paste, and then kind of like maybe 4, 5 o'clock, more like 4 o'clock, I'll have some cubes of crystallized ginger. So I'm having like 4 lots of ginger a day. And I didn't have any on the Friday when I was away for my birthday. So that, to me, proves the ginger really seems to be a help for me. I do have medication as well, which I did have, but obviously I need some ginger as well. Yeah, everyone thinks like English people will drink tea. No, they don't. There's actually more people drink coffee in England than there is tea, and there always has been. The reason people think English people drink tea, it was during like wartime when they were based in, say, India, and they took the tea and whatever else, and they had the I want to say servants, it's probably not the right term anymore, but they had them getting their tea and afternoon tea and all that stuff. And that's where the idea comes from. They took tea back, but most English people do not actually drink tea. No. Two Doves, Bees and Gardens here. Good morning, Dawn and you all. Hello to you guys. Do go and check out Two Doves, Bees and Gardens. They are such sweeties. Stitch It Up, Capturing Country Life says, Steve, Tina, that's cool. Did you enjoy? Steve says, I've been drinking, is it Rubis? Is that how you say it? Rubis? Well, I say, is that how you say it? We all say things differently depending on what country we're from anyway. So for 32 years. Cheers. Wow. Wow. No caffeine and has antioxidants, vitamin A. So you're saying then I should get myself some more of this then? Should get myself some more of this then if I can find it. Well, obviously, I was in Cyprus. So obviously, I'm saying obviously, more likely, this is from Cyprus somewhere. So I'll get Mike to look for it. That's cool. Stitch It Up, Capturing Country Life with the emojis. Steve says of his stay, yes, had a very nice stay in Parksville. Stitch It Up, Capturing Country Life says 32 years. It must be great. Well, it certainly keeps him looking young, doesn't it? Yes, it's from South Africa. Yes, that's what I looked up. It's South African herb, and they say good for like relaxation and have before going to bed. There was a few other bits. So it's they were talking about, I'm going to get it wrong because I can't remember factually now, but some tribal thing they do with it. Oh, what did I read they do with it? I'm going to say keep spirits away or something like that. One of those kind of things. Young tea. Young tea. Young tea. Yes, what does the word actually mean, Steve? Does it mean, I know it's it's like a root, isn't it? Well, what's the picture show? Can't really tell, but it's like a root. It's the root they use, isn't it? I wonder if you could grow it here. They grow it in South Africa. I could probably grow it here if only I could get seeds from it. I may have to learn to like hot tea. It's like in Cyprus, you have cold coffee. If you ask for coffee, you'll get cold coffee. Ah, cold coffee, nasty. Or iced coffee. Ah, Steve's saying it only grows in the Cape. Right, only grows in the Cape. See, we didn't know how knowledgeable Steve was. Is this via Tina? We're getting this info. Is this via Tina? I would think Tina knows probably a lot about this. Yes. And talking about seeds and growing, my last volunteers that you've seen some videos of, Cape Town, they actually sent another email to me today and they've sent me a parcel. Ooh, so go look out for that. Ah, Steve says when I was cycle tour in Africa. Oh, cool. Cool. Yes, and I've got myself some more seeds. We got that on the way to my respite. Mike suddenly had this thought. He said, oh, there's a good garden centre. Let's go and see if they got the seeds you want, because I needed a few I'd run out of. And I got another one I'd never heard of. I can't remember the name of it. I kind of got it in my head, but I might say the wrong word and look stupid. But anyway, I've got a new type of seed. Is it Sindeni? Sindeni? Something like that. Mike's bringing my bag in for me. Bring me the bag, sweetie. Oh, he heard I was in distress trying to tell you the name. Oh, thank you, Mike. Steve nearly saw you. He's got two eyes again now. He's got to go on Saturday. Oh, here he is.
Evening, Steve.
2 eyes. 2 eyes. So, yes, on the way, he said, let's pop in there and see if they've got what seeds you want. And I was looking at the seeds, there are quite a lot in there, so I was quite pleased with that. Morning, Mike, Steve says. Yeah, while I was looking at those, Mike remembered I needed for my indoor garden a small watering can because I wanted a thin spout. I've got a small one with a thin spout, but I use that somewhere else. And I didn't want to keep bringing that up and down. So Mike remembered that. So he bought me a watering can for my birthday. And we got free things there as well. But the video I edited today shows you the free thing. Here it is, Sileni. Is that right, how I'm saying it? But as I say, we all say things differently as well. So that. I didn't know what it was. I like that. I like buying things I don't know what they are and then try and grow them. And if you're like me and you don't know what that is, the back actually gives us info. Oh, I'm going to put my light on. No wonder I can't see properly. Let's put my ring light on. There. Ooh, that's a bit too bright. Let me turn you down a bit. Down. Turn you down a bit. There. Okay, it says on the back, a bushy annual with smooth, upright, knotty stems, about 30 centimetres high. The dark green leaves are arranged in opposition with no stalks, and they are waxy and bright green. The young shoots are used in soups and omelettes. Well, that's what I want to do, is make lots of soups and sauces this year. Or next year. It's the growing year for me, so my year's started. Once I start planting my seeds indoors, it's the new year. It's a gardening year. I don't talk January to December. I talk gardening years. So it's the new year for me. So happy new year if you're a gardener. Yeah. And all seeds there are €1, which is good. I get mine for 99 cents or €1. Steve says it's a very good tea for camp cooking. 1 tea bag would make 3 or 4 cups of tea as you let it brew on a campfire or stove. Yes, I notice it says on there leave for 5 minutes. So yeah, I get that. Yeah. So okay, I'm going to see if Mike can get me more of this then. That's what. Yeah, as I say, I like the smell of all these herbal teas and that, but I've tried tasting them and I wondered if it was because I don't like tea, but I don't like them and I really want to like them. So I'm going to maybe try and make my own teas. I'm going to try and make some of my own teas. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's have a look. Let's do an update on this. Well, I did a little more yesterday of my embroidery, experimental embroidery. So don't come at me. It's an experiment. It's just for fun and to see if it works what I want to try and do, because I've made my design on paper and I'm stitching it on. So I've started on the back of the second chair. I will be going round outlining the first back of the other chair in case you think it looks a bit odd at the moment. I will be doing that, but I want to do the back of the other chair first. I just want to get both backs done. I really want to get on and do the rest of it, but I'm someone who, if I find like the backs of these chairs taking ages, I want to do all that first and then leave the more fun stuff rather than do one chair and then think, oh, I've got to do it all again. So I've started this other chair. So that is the progress. It takes a long time, a long time. Sometimes I'll do a bit and then a bit later in the day I might do a bit more of it. It takes ages to do. Yes, Steve says add more water and let it brew again. I do that with my green tea, ginger green tea, whatever it's called. I do that with that. I use the bag twice. I use it breakfast time and then might put some more water on it and I use it again. Cool, stitch it up, Dawn. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Oh, you're off now. Okay, have a good day. Have a lovely day. Stitch It Up says, I didn't sleep well, up at 5 a.m, gross, need a nap. Well, thank you for coming by. That's really nice. Steve says, have a nice nap. Napping it up now. Oh, that's sweet. That's lovely. So, yeah, that's that. I have done some more of my cross stitch. I'm a bit tired. My cross stitch. So you will see that on Wednesday, my live on Wednesday. And Wednesday, I'm going to start doing my Christmas themed lives. I'm going to start doing, I think I'm starting that on Wednesday. Yes. That will be the 11th, won't it? Yes, I'm going to start on Wednesday. The reason I was like, am I? Yes, because my Friday live on my other channel won't start Christmas stuff this week because it's Friday the 13th on Friday, and I'm doing a live. I'm doing a live on my Friday on my other channel all about Friday the 13th. So if you've ever wondered about Friday the 13th, that is my live on my other channel on Friday. So that won't be Christmas this week, Christmas themed, but I will start on Wednesday. So I'll do this Wednesday on this channel, Christmas themed live starting. So you'll see a different thumbnail. So don't think I'm not live. I do a different, I think I've got Christmas themed live. I think that's on it, but don't get confused if you see different thumbnails. I always do a different thumbnail for Christmas. So those who don't want to watch Christmas themed stuff, it's not all the way through, but I will start putting Christmassy stuff in those lives. Okay, well, I get my head together. Let's go and have a look at today's quote corner. So today I've been on an editing frenzy. I've got so much I've got to edit. And as I say, my birthday, it was only one night away, but I've got quite a lot of footage. So I was working out what bits are going with what bits. I've edited one. I've edited the first one, which is going to the garden centre and sharing what the seeds are. And the journey, very pretty journey. So you've got the journey and then where I stayed. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So that I've got edited already. Then the next one of my birthday ones, I might put other things in between. Next one, my birthday one, will be a tour of the actual inside of where we stayed. It's very unique, very unique. I wonder if you can guess what sort of building it was. I wonder if you can guess. Maybe you'd like to put that in the comments, or if you're watching this back later, tell me if you can guess what sort of building we stayed in. That would be interesting. Steve and Tina Jewell say we took a lot of video. Good. So we're going to be editing as well today. Oh yeah, you haven't had your editing day yet. My editing day is finished. I got, I think, 5 videos edited today. But I was literally sitting editing. And they were what I call easy edits. They weren't anything I had to research anything, or it was literally editing all my clips into things. And we went to some wonderful places while we were there. Wonderful. As I say, it was only one night, but we tend to squeeze a lot in of times away. So a lovely gorge, went to a gorge, went to a dam, some amazing views, but you'll see what we did. Wow, says Steve. But I've decided, I said to Mike, I'm going to get up. I did my shorts and I said, I'm just going to edit. Well, I lied, because obviously being away, I had to go on the computer, do 50 million copyright strikes. So that takes time. Go through all my Gmails, go through all my comments, all those things. So I did all that first. That did take a lot of time. And I said to Mike, I'm just going to keep editing until just before my live. And in case you don't know, my live is 5:30 p.m. I start. My time's 5:30 p.m. And I did till about 4:15, I think I did. And just like you start to get a bit headachy being on the screen all that time. So I thought, no, I've done good. I've done really good. So I was pleased with that. And my plan was, if I got a lot done, then tomorrow I will be garden. I've got so much planned for in the garden. Maybe I'll plant some of those seeds. But I also want to go through my compost and get all my compost out and put that on the raised beds. And if there's anything that's not really started to go in, decomposing, I'm going to chop things up as well and just put it all on the raised beds. I want those all full and more or less empty out the compost, apart from the new stuff on there, then that can go back on. So I want to do that. Maybe my plan is to do it. The problem is, because my kidneys, I get bad back pain after a little while. So I plan to do things. It's the body fails me. It's not that I want to stop, but I think I will. That's my reward, is to garden tomorrow and see how much gardening I can do. And then Wednesday, I call it office days. Monday and Wednesday are office days because they're the days I do my lives on this channel. So I work until then. So Wednesday will be another editing frenzy. Editing frenzy. So that's where I've planned to so far. That's my plan. So I'm kind of deciding Monday and Wednesday are going to be YouTube days, which includes editing and lives. I will do that. Two Doves, Bees and Garden says, always enjoy seeing your garden. I've edited today 2 videos of my indoor garden, what I'm growing, what has grown, and what's been transplanted into pots already, because you know I grow in my takeaway containers, and 2 things have already been put into pots. And one of those things was first of all put into like quite small pots, and now it's even been transplanted into, I don't know, sizes of pots, like that sort of size, the sort of bigger pots already. Mike can't believe how big the roots are. So I've got a lot growing, and anyone who doesn't know, I don't grow with these, what a lot of people are lucky enough to be able to have, these heat lights and all these fancy schmancy things for growing and starting seeds and all that. Mine just grow. We don't have heating in the house. We just have a fire, a real fire in the middle of the house, and that it doesn't heat the whole house, but that's all we've got. We've only had that on once, and that was, we had a rainy day, and you know how you just want to cocoon. It wasn't that cold, but it was miserable all day. And that was just before we went away. And I said to Mike, I'm going to put the fire on. We've got tons of wood. If we don't use it, it's just going to be more wood, more wood. We are extremely lucky to have enough trees and even around us, but we don't even get to that point. We have so many trees, we will never run out of wood. So I'm very lucky for that, very lucky. And we're just trying to get rid of the pine cones. In that hurricane, you'll see the hurricane. In that hurricane recently, when our volunteers were here, it was just random. It came and it went, and there was so many pine cones down. I'm just trying to use those, burn those as well. So yeah, we've got a lot going on. I've got new stuff growing, and quite a lot's come up already, and it's December. It's December. I'm trying to grow all year. And as long as you keep things cozy, then you should be all right. If you're in a country where you get frost, then I appreciate the fact that things won't grow very well at that point. That was some crazy wind. You saw that video of rain. It was terrific. It was in seconds. It came from nowhere in seconds. It really was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Wow. Absolutely crazy. Really bad. Okay, talking of channels then, let's have a look at this. So let's get ourselves up to speed. Let's look at my other channel first, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. I'm sure most of you are over there now, but if you're not, do take a look there. There's different content from this channel. That's where you will see my crafts, but many other things besides. So let's have a look. What number day are we even on now? I'm totally lost. I'm looking over there, but my calendar's on January. My calendar's on January. December's gone. It's because there was so much scribble all over it, because, as you know, when I was away, I had to put up premieres to cover my lives, and I put up scheduling while I was away, and I had so many, because I got 3 channels, that was all written over. So I've just thrown December away now. Just thrown December away. Okay. Oh, it says it must be the 9th. It says it here, Monday, 9th of December. Oh, yes, my video that came up. Now, I must apologise for the thumbnail because I'm the person who always goes on about all these people going, and all this in their thumbnails. And the video thumbnail on my other channel is something like me like this, like disaster. Oh, I haven't got the wide open mouth. I think I'm just like this, something like that. And that is because I didn't have a thumbnail for it. And I'm sure you've all got the same up to date as me, the YouTube thing. I know different people have different, but they now put 3 suggested thumbnails up. So I always look at that. And one was this one. And because the video is called Big Trauma, it's talk about my first days at school, I thought, wouldn't that be funny? I mean, how did YouTube select that one of all of the video where I'm just like this? I can't remember what I'm saying at that point. I've probably gone, oh my goodness, something like that in the video, talk about the trauma. So I'm like that. And I thought, just for a laugh, I've got to choose that one. It was so funny. So that came up today, that video, Big Trauma, my school day memories, first day at school. And if you like that, it's a whole series of my childhood memories. There's a playlist. I think it's probably called My Childhood Memories. It's a playlist. Start the first one because I do re-mention people again and things like that. So do go and take a look at that on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty on the playlist, My Childhood Memories. They're really good. I enjoy doing those so much, just chatting. As I say, I film them sitting here like a live. I just chat, but I don't want to put them out live because I want to add pictures when I'm suddenly talking about something. I think, oh, I might have a picture of that, and then I want to edit it in later. So that's why they are like that. So Steve says this year's running out fast. Well, I told you I'm in next year already. So it's already been and gone. I know I'm ahead of you in time, but I'm on next year already. Oh dear, that's funny. And then we've also got coming up on that channel, we've got coming up on Wednesday. It's one of my puppy videos, Playtime with New Toys. They're really sweet. If you like dogs, you've got to check out my Yorkshire Terrier videos. And then on my birthday, I put up as a premiere on that channel 10 questions answered. And they're funny questions I was sent that I answered. And see if you can answer them as well. But you really get to know me even more with these funny questions. So do take a look at those. And then let's have a look at this channel, because obviously, as I say, when I've been scheduling stuff, I've got no idea what you've been watching now. I've got no idea. So let's have a look. Today. Oh yes, I put up. It was a really good video. There's so many videos out there talk about frugal Christmas and how to do Christmas on a budget. They're all very useful. But my one is the ultimate frugal gift. Yes, we can craft and we can make stuff. Not me, but some people. No, you don't even need to do that. But it's something that would mean a lot to other people to receive. So the ultimate no-cost frugal Christmas present, and that is the video to look at that was today. And then Wednesday, if you like Christmas fairs and Christmas craft fairs, do you remember I told you I went a little while ago and I wasn't going to put it up till nearer Christmas because it's more Christmassy now. So, and also on there is salvage finds at the dump. So I know a lot of you are really enjoying when I go to the dump and what I salvage. So I've added that to the video as well. And then the one prior to that was my 60th birthday video, a nice fun video. It doesn't have to be a birthday for you to enjoy it. And I'm asking if you guys could give me 60 thumbs up for my 60th birthday video. So share it out. Everyone will love it. It's a really fun video. I know a lot of you have seen it because you've commented on it, but I would love 60 thumbs up on my 60th birthday video. So have a look at that. So that's what's been happening on my channel. And I think now we should go over and do some jokes. Okay, that gave me time for a drink. That's what my interludes are for. And my Christmas themed video lives coming up will actually have some Christmas interludes like that. So I thought today we did about saying last time, I was going to do something else and I picked up the wrong book entirely. I must pay attention to what my interludes are. Okay. Rewind. Okay. This one says, an elderly Scots lady of strict upbringing was returning from a visit to her daughter in France and had to spend a night in Paris before getting the early morning train the next day. She spent the night in a small but respectable hotel. Having had dinner and packed her luggage ready for an early start next morning, she retired to bed. Just as she was about to drop off to sleep, she became aware of a strange, irritating noise, which she eventually identified as loud snores coming through the wall from the room next door. She stood this as long as possible, but realizing that as long as the snoring persisted, sleep for her would not come, she rose and knocked on the wall, whereupon the noise immediately ceased. She got back into bed and once again was about to drop off when the dreaded snoring restarted. At first, she did her best to ignore it, but the more she tried, the worse it seemed to become, until she was forced once more to bang on the wall with her fist, which produced the desired effect. Unfortunately, the cure was not permanent, but once more she decided to try to ignore it, even going to the length of putting her head under the blankets. But sleep still would not come. At last, in desperation, she leant out of the bed, seized her leather-soled slipper, and banged it furiously on the wall. Again, the snoring ceased, but then, to her utter horror, she heard a muffled Scots voice coming through the wall, saying, "Aye, it's all right, my lass, you can knock away, but I'm not coming through." Acutely embarrassed, the lady slept a little that night and left very early the next morning before the other guest appeared. So that was quite fun. It's quite a funny one. Okay, now let's do what book I did pick up to do. I did pick up this one. I nearly started reading it. Steve's laughing. Okay, so we were talking before about wintertime and illnesses and how to stay well. Well, let's go a little further with this one and let's look after the body. First hack, to strengthen fingernails. Buff regularly in one direction only. Add 1 teaspoon, 5 grams of salt to half a cup, 125 ml of cold water, and hold your fingertips in it for 2 minutes twice a week. The next hack. To strengthen brittle nails, eat a square of table jelly daily. Massage into the base of each nail at bedtime. Soak in a solution of 1 part cider vinegar to 8 parts water for 10 minutes twice weekly. The next one, I'd love to see you guys doing this one. Do film it and show it to me. Slim down your fatty hips with a rolling pin. Roll over each thigh for 3 minutes before a bath. And the last one, thick puffy ankles may be due to poor circulation if there is no medical reason. Avoid prolonging standing. No cross legs, no tight shoes. Practice ankle twisting and stretching exercises and walk as much as possible daily, and always raise your feet when relaxing. There's some tips today. Got to run, dentist appointment, have a great day. Oh, sounds like you're not having a great day. We're going to the dentist. Hopefully it's for just checkups. Thank you for being here. Very much appreciated. Okay, let's go on to this. Oh, so we're still on the bird book. And this is today talking about bird flight patterns. The power of flight gives birds opportunities for easy movement denied to all other animals except insects and bats. Squirrels, dormice and wood mice climb trees to feed and nest, but they cannot flit from tree to tree or twig to twig like a bird. Badgers and deer travel from their resting places in search of food, but they do not range as far as a starling or heron. While the great advantage of flight is speed, the drawback is it uses large amounts of energy, 10 to 15 times as much as walking. It is quicker to fly in a jet airplane than go by car, but it is more expensive. Like the human traveller, a bird must sometimes decide whether to forego speed in the interest of economy. When you throw stale bread out of the kitchen window, a starling at the bottom of the garden must decide whether to run across the lawn or fly. Flight is worth the extra effort if the starling has to beat its greedy companions to the food. Some birds, as different as wrens and mallards, have to keep flapping to stay in the air, but many birds reduce the cost of flight by gliding effortlessly. Gulls flap regularly when flying directly from their roots to feed on refuge tips, but glide in the snow, energy-saving circles once they arrive, so they can scan the ground for food. They also soar gracefully above the gardens on gusts of wind billowing around buildings. Swifts use this effect to double advantage. Rolling eddies of air created along the line of trees by a stiff breeze collect swarms of insects. The swifts abandon their usual headlong careering around the sky to gather in the eddy. They fly slowly forwards into the wind, almost hovering at times, to snap up rich crops of insects trapped by the spinning air currents. Swifts also use thermals, the updrafts of air that raise through the atmosphere when the ground warms up on a sunny day. Thermals are another form of insect trap, and swifts, joined perhaps by some swallows, martins, gulls or starlings, allow themselves to drift upwards while they enjoy an effortless meal. Over long distances, economy can be more important than speed. Rooks soar in thermals as an energy-saving means of travel. Small birds cannot use thermals, but some, like tits, finches and starlings, save energy with abounding flight in which they alternately flap and close their wings. This gives them typical bouncing effect of a flock of finches. They close their wings rather than glide because for birds of this size, the disadvantage of drag on the outstretched wings outweighs the advantage of the lift they generate. Takeoff and landing. Like an aeroplane, a bird has to achieve a minimum speed to become airborne. To generate lift, the wings are swept to and fro to create an airflow over them. As with an airplane, takeoff and landing are easier into the wind because it gives extra lift. Most garden birds take off by leaping into the air. For a split second, they're hovering just clear of the ground. This is strenuous, but the leap helps a bird with extra shove upwards. You can hear pigeons, which are heavy-bodied birds, take off with a loud whip crack. This is the sound of their wings. And we have here short-rounded wings of some birds, sleek aerodynamic bodies. Cruising flight speeds of birds. Figures are in miles per hour. A blue tit, 18 miles per hour. A carrion crow, 31 miles an hour. Heron, 27 miles an hour. Herring gull, 25 miles an hour. Mallard, 40 miles an hour. Pheasant, 34 miles an hour. Sparrowhawk, 27 miles per hour. Starling, 21. Swallow, 20. Swift, 25. Wood pigeon, 38. And wren, 20. So that's how the birds do their flight. And it's basically saying the sound of their wings being flung forwards and down to start air moving over the flight surfaces is the sound you hear. Larger birds cannot generate enough power to hover, so they simply drop off a perch, spread their wings and accelerate with gravity, or when on the ground, run a few steps to take off. It's more difficult to leap off water. Ducks manage, but coots and swans have to run to get airborne. Landing is the opposite of takeoff. The bird has to lose as much speed as possible without falling out of the air. Small birds slow down easily until they're virtually hovering on rapid whirling wings and then gently touch down. Large birds have to be more careful. When landing on a perch, they swoop below it and then climb to lose speed. They land on the ground with a thump and run for a short distance to lose momentum or hit water with a splash, sliding to a standstill. So I hope you found that quite interesting. I certainly found that one quite interesting today. Okay, let's go on to, what number do I want? This. Okay, so in your garden, we'll do December week 3. December week 3. Let me know what's going on in your garden. Interesting, says Steve. That was an interesting one today, wasn't it? I enjoyed that one. And the book says, now it is time to visit your local builder's merchant, as many of the items sold there can be put to good use in the garden. Well, of course, you know, I'm going to go to the dump and try and salvage things to use. And the book says, for example, concrete drain sections are excellent collars for blanching celery. The collars should have an internal diameter of 11.5 centimetres and should be about 17 to 20 centimetres long for the collars. Make sure you buy enough collars so you can stand a second collar on top of the first to assure tall, well-grown celery plants. This is an example of a useful job the gardener can find to do on a cold or wet day in midwinter. Another task is to inspect your stores of vegetables and sort out any that are not keeping well. In particular, look at marrows and pumpkins, which are now near the end of the period for which they may reasonably be expected to keep. Look for soft spots on the undersides if the vegetables are standing on a bench or shelf. It is not too soon to set out seed potatoes for the early crops to sprout, selecting, of course, a frost-free place to do so. Outdoors, you probably still have plenty of digging and trenching to do. As you get busy with spade and fork, decide whether there's anything you need to do to improve the soil, for now is the time to do it. If you have cold, crumbly loam, consider yourself lucky. The usual light dressing of farmyard manure or compost, a sprinkling of lime are recommended for special crops that will be entirely adequate. But most garden soils are not of perfect loam. They tend towards one of two extremes. On the one hand, some soils are too light and need building up with qualities of humus-making material. Examples are chalky soils, sandy soils, and soils well sprinkled with stones. Hello, Nonna Grace. Nonna Grace is here. Nice to see you. Guys, do go and check out Nonna Grace's channel. And while you're there, if you like what you see, hit her subscribe button. I'll say hello to Jim as well, if Jim's watching. The problem with chalky and sandy soil is that being porous, they lose moisture and plant foods very quickly. Digging in a heavy dressing of rotted farmyard manure in winter is the best treatment, but do not dig it too deeply. The idea is to have a layer of well-rotted humus not too far beneath the surface for the roots of your crops to exploit in the coming summer. Incidentally, even chalky soils may need liming from time to time. The presence of chalk 13 or 15 centimetres below the surface is no guarantee that lime is available in the upper layers of your soil. Steve's done a link to Nonna's channel. Yes, I was looking at that the other day and I saw your email, your channel link, and it's Nonna, Nona. And then I thought, oh, I've always spelled it with two N's, like two N's in the middle. And then, yes, it is, it's two N's in the middle. So I'm a little confused there, Nonna. Can Nonna be spelled with two N's, one N, or was it that thing because handles didn't accept many letters, so you dropped an N? I'm just curious. Clay and peat can be good soils, but they also have a handicap. Peat soils are acid and they need corrective treatment with lime, while clay soils tend to become waterlogged. The remedy for waterlogging is, of course, draining, a matter which you can attend to this time of year. Whether or not drainage is necessary should be obvious, but if you're not sure, dig a hole 30 to 60 centimetres deep and then note how long water remains in it. A bit like when you plant trees and you put water in beforehand. If there's still water in the bottom after 2 days or so, the plot certainly needs draining. I would say so. If most of it has drained away, double digging may be all that is necessary. Otherwise, you will need to embark on a proper drainage operation, which can involve digging trenches and either filling them with clinker and brushwood or laying clay tile drains. When cultivating the soil and improving it, consider how well supplied with nutrients it is. I've got videos coming up all about different nutrients and things that will come up next year sometime. So if you're into these things, then I have lots of video series coming out on compost and nutrients and these kind of things. Nonna says, most people spell it with one N for Nonna, but I pronounce it Nonna like you said it. Cool. I was curious. I was just assuming that the link that Steve's put up, you ran out of letters, so you dropped an N. That was what I was thinking. Thank you for explaining that. It's like Two Doves, Bees and Gardens, who was on here earlier. Sometimes it's Two Doves, Bees and Garden, and sometimes it's Two Doves, Bees and Gardens. There is that. And it says, while cultivating the soil and improving it, consider how well supplied with nutrients it is in the light of your experience in growing vegetables during the spring and summer. You may have seen obvious signs of deficiencies of nitrates or phosphates or even the minor trace elements. Elephants. Any of you got elephants in your garden? No. Some vegetables may have done badly as a whole, plants never really growing well or becoming very prone to attack by pest or disease. You can test the soil at this time with one of the soil testing kits available, or you can have tests carried out by professional labs who will suggest which nutrients need to be increased, whether lime is necessary, or how the soil structure can be improved. The addition of organic matter will improve the soil structure and increase the nutrient content, supplying those nutrients which are slow acting and long lasting. If there's a need to supplement these, however, then you may want to use fertilizers. They are quick acting because they are instantly soluble and are easily washed through the soil. If put on in winter, the rain and snow may well have leached them all out by the time you come to your growing season. So wait until the appropriate time if doing this. So that's what's growing in my garden. I've got my bottle farm going again. I've got videos coming up on that, how that's going, growing in bottles. Excuse me. And that way I can grow all year long. It is winter here. People say, oh, are you like Australia and your winter's your summer? No, I'm like what I call normal as in most countries. It is now our mid-winter and it's currently 6:35 p.m. so I'm ahead of most of you. So yes, now you need a jumper or something on. But during the day, it's still pretty warm. So you can just have t-shirt on during the day, like short sleeve t-shirt. That's our weather. Of course, if you get up early in the morning, you need a jumper again. Never mind the fact I've got my pajamas on because I'm going to bed in a minute. That's why. That's why. So I'm going to finish there because my bed is calling. I will take one of these again and see if that works before I go to bed. I just need to stop planning when I go to bed. That's what I do. I go to bed, I lay there and I stop planning tomorrow and what I'm going to do in the garden because I'm gardening tomorrow. So I will lay there and think, right, I'm going to put that in there and do that and then do that. And then I don't sleep because my mind's all whirring. So I'm going to take one of these. If any of you miss the beginning of the live and you're like, what's that, Dawn? What are you taking? We went through it at the beginning of the live. So I'm going to finish there. Thank you to Steve for moderating, my star Robocop moderator. Thank you all for dropping in if you were able, very much appreciated. Thank you to all of you watching back later, and thank you to those who keep sharing my videos. Really appreciate that. As I say, I want 60 thumbs up on my birthday video that I put out. It's funny birthday video or something like that it's called. If I can get 60 thumbs up on that, so share that because it's a bit of fun and I'm sure your friends and viewers would like to see that. So as I say, I'm going to How rude. I cut myself off mid-sentence. Had a twitchy finger on the mouse. How rude of me. Stephen Tina saying, thanks still, bye. Have a great week. Bye, everyone in the chat. Bye to you all. And as always, Meraki. Bye for now.